Hey guys, it's your boy Original K Ninja King, and today guys I'm going to show you how to draw manga facial expressions. I'm going to show you 10 facial expressions, in which 2 are already done. You can see I have 12 heads over here. This is a skull. The reason I have that I'm going to show you is to do with the facial features on top of the skull. As you can see here, this is a blank face. So guys, I'm going to show you the first facial expression. Alright, I have actually written down everything I'm going to show you. So I've made this image a little bigger so you can look back and forth at the skull and the face that's normal, blank face. So as you can see, the skull, that's where the eyeball is in. Now we're not going to get too realistic here, we're going to keep it simple. But your eye will contract right and left, up and down, so you get the idea that it has to stay within the socket. But you see you have all this room here with the eyebrow and everything. Now the first character I'm going to draw is going to be blushing. So we can draw here, we can draw guidelines. Just for the first example I'm going to show you guidelines, and after that we're not going to use guidelines. So in order to use guidelines, you can always take your fingers here and bring it over, see? So it's correct. Remember, eyebrows are always going to be where the ears are at. That's where they're going to meet majority of the time. And now, for the first eyes that I'm drawing are blushing eyes. So what happens when you blush, your eyes get a little bit bigger. Your eyes don't actually get bigger. What gets bigger are your eyeball. It starts to actually dilate. So you're actually going to keep the eyeball size pretty much normal, but since it's a manga, in real life it doesn't happen. It doesn't actually change size other than the pupils. You're actually going to make the eye bigger because it's a manga, right? It's a cartoon. You don't have to actually make it realistic. You know, usually when you're blushing, you look down, your eyeballs kind of go down away from the target. Everything gets bigger, as you can see here, right? You just draw it a little bit in the center. Your pupil is going to be a little bit bigger, and you're going to have a huge, see here, and smaller ones up here. Now it's up to your style what you want to do. This is how I like to draw. And then you darken up the rest of the eye. See? The nose actually won't change too much. It's gonna stay the same, right? So usually your nose changes when you're angry and stuff. We'll get to that a little later. And this character will have a nice, simple smile here. It's the same character. And when you're blushing, you have a little bit of more of these blushies here. Now let me go ahead and erase the guidelines, guys. Alright guys, so as you can see, I finished the first drawing over here. And what you're gonna do is for the eyebrows, they're gonna round up here a little bit. They're just gonna round down, right? There's not much to this one, right? It's so easy. So let's go to the next picture right here. So we won't be able to see the skull anymore, unfortunately, right? So let's go ahead, and now I'm gonna show you a character that is being shy. Now it's gonna be the same thing basically. So again, this time I'm gonna skip the guidelines. Remember, you can visualize the guidelines, right? It's right here. So now with this eyes, it's gonna actually lose a lot more lines here, and if you want to draw the bottom, that's fine. It's going to be a little bit smaller, right? It's going to be a little bit more rounded, simple lines. Your eyeballs are going to be big enough for this effect, and you're going to have another one here. They're going to stay the same size, and right, it almost looks like the character is surprised. It's going to look similar to that one, and as you can see, this character is a little bit more shy. So there's a slight difference in blushing and Shyness, and the eyebrows are gonna be like this. Alright guys, alright, so the next one I'm gonna show you is gonna be crying. Okay, how do you draw a character crying? It's actually similar to blushing, but there is a slight difference though. So let me show you. Now, according to the way I have studied the crying eyes, is they are a little bit, the eyes are a little bit, the eyelashes are a little bit darker here, they don't change, and the bottom stays like this. Many times what happens realistically what happens is your lower eyes and your upper eyes, they actually get closer, right? Because they're a little bit more closing, right? So in this case, let me see, I don't want to make the eyeball too big, but we can. In manga you'll see the eyes get really big, right? In real life they don't, but in manga they do, right? Now what you're going to do next is you're going to draw giant pupils just like here, right? But another thing to be noted is that these dilations can actually come outside of the eye, right? Because your eyes are watery, so they can actually come outside, right? Even though I didn't leave too much room here, so maybe I'll have a few examples later. Then you have water like this coming out and down, and maybe falling. You have the same thing here, and you can add, instead of shading it, you draw lines like this, and the rest of the eye you shade. The images are a little bit small, so I can't do much with them right now, right? And then the eyebrows are gonna stay a little bit slanted like this, closer to the eyes, because they usually come closer to the eyes. The nose doesn't really change too much ever, and you're gonna get maybe a little booger over here and you wouldn't really get a smile. You would be, you're a little bit sad. It's kind of sad or crying eyes, right? Okay, all right, so the next one we're gonna do is surprised. Now look at this guy, shy, right? So it looks a little bit similar to that of the shy character, but there's a slight difference. The character's eyes are gonna be a little bit more wide, right? You're gonna be a little bit more wide. There goes the skeleton theory out of the window. But it's up to you guys. You can keep it realistic or keep it comical. I'm gonna make a few more heads later on. Not heads, but facial expressions that are a little bit more comical. I'll show you. So with the surprised eye, it's gonna be a little bit darker. And in the middle, you're gonna have a very tiny eyeball. Very tiny eyeball, right? And even the eyebrows go like this. You can have them go all the way above the head also. I mean, this is almost unrealistic. Look at the forehead. It's not even there. But that is manga for you, right? And you get your nose. Your nose can actually shrink a little bit. Your nose can actually shrink. But I'm gonna keep it regular size. But your nose can shrink. Take that note, guys. Write that down if you haven't. Your nose can actually shrink, right? And he's like, oh my god. And right here, you're gonna get darker lines. You can actually darken the eyebrows, so you know it's eyebrows and nothing else, right? Your lines around are gonna get a little bit darker like this, because he's very surprised and tense. You can make it a little bit more advanced. You can add more lines here too, like, oh no, what's going on? You can overdo it too, like this. I don't like it actually, so I'm gonna erase it. You can definitely overdo it a little bit. Alright, so see how they're similar, but not exactly the same. See how much of a big difference there is here. Alright, so now you can see that beautiful skull again, huh? Alright, so now the next thing the next one we're gonna focus on is angry face. So to start an angry facial expression, always start like this. Start with this right here, and you have an eye going up, and you do the same thing here, going up, and you darken this area of the eye. And now from right here you are gonna have it coming down and draw an eye. And remember guys, I'm using the same eye. I'm using the same eye for all the characters. I'm not changing the eye. It's the same eye, so you just have to practice some more to get it right. Right? When you're angry, usually your eye goes up because half of your eye is closed. You know, it's starting to close down. Your eyebrow can be brought down all the way if you want. Like animes like Dragon Ball Z bring it all the way down, so that's how it would appear from a distance, but it doesn't really go above your upper eyelid. Your upper eyelid is still there. See, guys, same eye. You can actually draw this here, the dilations, and you can darken the eye. And you can bring this here. And guys, you can make it more realistic than this. You know, it doesn't have to look like what I'm drawing. Now your nose actually has a slight change here. You know, it's a little bit angrier, so it's like it right here. Your nose changes a little bit because of your facial expressions. And obviously, you're gonna look a little bit more. Your lips are gonna be a little bit more not looking smiling. It's gonna be frowning instead, and you'll have these lines here. I don't know if I should draw him any blushy in this. It wouldn't look good. So in this one, no blushies for this character. Okay. So guys, the next one I'm gonna show you is a little bit different from. It's a little bit different from the other characters. All right, let me bring this paper up so you can have a better view of everything. So the next one is sleeping. Now when a character is sleeping, this is one of the easiest eyes to really draw, the easiest facial expressions that most of us struggle with because we don't know how to draw it. Just draw a line and thicken it depending on your style. Go ahead and thicken the eye. Now remember, the eyelashes, everything is not touching, right? So it's going to be double the thickness. Go ahead and draw some blushy. You know, you can just keep it like this, just this. But what I like to do is draw lines here, slight lines. And one thing you must understand, guys, your eyebrows are also gonna stay straight. The thing you should understand, guys, with sleeping eyes is that they have to stay relaxed, right? There's no any kind of tenseness in the eyes. The eyes are completely relaxed. Here, your mouth can be like this. You could be drooling, maybe a little bit, snoring. You know, it's up to your style. You can have nothing happening to the character. Alright, so happy eye is a little bit similar. So what you're gonna do with the happy eye is you're gonna, now it depends on your comic, again, realism, but in this case I'm going completely manga on this. Alright, I'm gonna completely go crazy with this. And again, it's a closed eye. It's gonna have a triangular look, as you can see. And you're gonna have some blushy again, right? You have a nose and a super big smile, right? And now again, you can leave it like this. You can draw the eyebrows that don't really need to change much, really. You can add, again, if slightly realistic, add the... Okay guys, now I'm gonna show you the dumbfounded or confused look. Most people don't know how to draw this, but it's one of the most simple eyes to draw. Now, it's similar to this one, that you keep the lines straight, very straight. And like the angry eye, you're gonna add this. Okay, as you can see here. And you're gonna draw a small eyeball. Okay. You don't draw a bottom for this one. You just don't. Unless you want to. I don't usually do it. Add some blushy. Not too many though. Small ones. Draw him a nose. Maybe a sweat mark. And he's like, did I miss something? What just happened? I'm so confused. Or dumbfounded. He's like, I don't know what they're talking about. Alright, so the next one's a little bit more fun to draw, guys. This is the scared look. So how do we draw this? You would look at your regular eye for reference, and you would kind of draw the same regular eye that you had before, but this time you're going to make your eyeball really, really small, like this. But bring it closer to the center, to the character, like he's looking in the middle or she's looking in the middle, instead of looking somewhere else. It's kind of in the middle, right, like this. And your eyebrows are gonna kind of go like this, right? And now your nose, your mouth might be like, oh, what's going on? You know, quick sketching. Don't drool with the character. Don't make him drool, right? And now, what happens next is what gives it the effect of being scared, right? Straight lines. You can use a ruler for this. Take your time with it, and it'll look even better. And you want to bring it slightly down to around the middle of his nose, but don't ever cover the entire face with it, because then it looks like it doesn't look right then. Because I have practiced like that too. It doesn't look good. So take my advice there. Right? So you got a scared character. Now the final character I'm going to show you guys is going to be the nosebleed character. Now, with this character, again, it's going to be goofy because you wouldn't really get this in real life. You completely forget about the skeleton and throw that theory out the window. You draw two big circles. Now this could be also used for different things. It could be for pain, that you just got hit by a hammer on your head. Again, keeping it cartoony, right? Your eyeballs could be either big or small. This guy could be drinking a lot of coffee, he could be very excited. So it's how you draw the other facial expressions that'll matter. You draw your nose, right? He is giving you a big smile. Really, really goofy drawing. Drooling, you know. He's like, oh yeah. And he has a nosebleed here. You can just actually bring it out like this. You just color it in. Right? For anime fans, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, leave me a comment below if you know what I'm talking about. Tell me what's your favorite anime, guys. I really want to know what inspires you. And I want to know, guys, what anime characters you want to see next. What do you want to learn next? What manga characters? Okay, guys, so as you can see, I have a skull, a blank face, blushy, shy, crying, surprised character. We have an angry, sleeping, happy, dumbfounded, confused, scared, and a nosebleed. And trust me, guys, there's so many different facial expressions you can create that are unique to yourself. And guys, let me know in the comment section below, what do you want to see next? A lot of you have been asking me, where's the manga stuff? Show us the manga. Alright, guys, I'm going to be doing a lot of how to draw manga stuff, and I'm going to be doing a lot of other unrelated to manga. It's going to be art, but it's going to be sometimes unrelated to how to draw manga. And guys, like I always say, this has been my video for today. Go ahead and give me a like, a lickety like, and leave a comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, it is your boy, Ninja King, and I'm out, guys.